What's up everyone, Justin with Apple here, and today I'm here to do a full review of the iPhone 5. So this is by far one of the most anticipated launches by Apple this year. The new phone that people have been waiting a very long time for, but it finally came on Friday. Let's go ahead and give you my thoughts on it. So, from first thoughts, a lot of people did say that there wasn't really much of a change. The hardware looks pretty similar, but I have to say there is an improvement in both the hardware and the software and some of the internals of it. So let's go ahead and start out with the hardware itself. So, right off the bat, you can notice Apple now upgraded it to a 4-inch 1136 by 640 display with a 326 ppi and a 44% better color saturation. And yes, right when I turned it on, I did notice a difference in terms of the screen. It does look much better. The ppi does stay the same, however the colors do pop out much better, especially with the apps that I have like Netflix and Flipboard where there's red. It definitely jumped out at me right away. As you can see now, they also put the FaceTime camera in the center. It is now an HD FaceTime camera. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some camera tests later, but let's continue on with the hardware. On the bottom, as you can see, Apple did change the port into a lightning dock connector. Some people didn't like this as Apple is charging $30 for an adapter. I did notice some faster transfer speed, not too much of a difference, but there is certainly a noticeable difference in terms of the transfer speeds. I think Apple mainly did this to change up their port, their long 30-pin dock connector, and also save some space in the device to be able to squeeze everything the best they can into this device and lower the form factor and weight. On the bottom, you can see it's the speakers. I really didn't see that much of a difference in terms of the speaker volume. Maybe they're a little bit louder. Some people are saying they are a little bit louder, but from testing myself, I didn't really notice too much of a difference. The headphone jack, as you can see, is now located on the bottom, which I personally do not like. Now turning to the side, the iPhone is now 18% thinner at just 7.6 millimeters, and it now weighs 20% lighter at just over 120 grams. So a lot of people said at first feels, right when you pick it up, you notice that the phone is much thinner and lighter. Overall feels really nice in my hand. I really like it. But I think the iPhone 4S and all that wouldn't really be considered thick, just that this has been narrowed down a little bit and feels great in the hand. So as you can see, Apple has changed the back from a glass back to a two-piece back that is now aluminum and glass. On the top and bottom, that is pretty much used to transmit the cell signal as well as the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth signal, that kind of stuff. And I have tried to see if there's such thing as a death grip, but I'm pretty sure Apple learned their lesson and I think it works pretty well. The speeds are really good. I'll be showing you some Wi-Fi speeds later. And on the top, you can see the camera does look a little bit larger, I have to say, and Apple has changed it to a sapphire crystal lens, so it is a little bit clearer and more durable, and they also added a mic right there. So do I like the aluminum back? It is going to be harder to replace because when they took the device apart from the bottom, the screen is the first thing to replace, which is more common in terms of what people break, but I'm pretty sure the back shouldn't break too easily and most people shouldn't have a problem with that. As you can see, Apple now has like a nice polished edge that they apparently said they use expensive diamonds or whatever to cut, and I think it has a nice added touch to it. The iPhone 5 definitely has really nice style. Makes it look like a high-grade device, and I think the design Apple did a very nice job on, even though it does look a lot like the iPhone 4 and 4S, which I think the design on that was pretty great, and I think it's great that they kept it, because overall I have to say the design is great. Let me know what you guys think about this, but let's go ahead and take a look at some other stuff, and let me talk about the internals. So the iPhone 5 to slim down, you can tell Apple did take a lot of steps to try to slim this device down. First with the nano SIM, which is 40% smaller, and now the lightning dock connector, and Apple has also made the processor. The A6 is now 22% smaller, and it is also 2 times faster than the iPhone 4S in terms of the graphics and speed processing. So I did see a little bit of a difference there, however not much of a difference, but if you're stepping up from the iPhone 4, you'll definitely see a difference in that. Even though the iPhone 4 is still a great phone and I have nothing wrong about it. Inside here there is also a new chip that allows 4G LTE. Yes, I did just say 4G LTE, something that we were hoping to see on the iPhone 4S, but we did not see it. So that was one of the things that I was almost sure that Apple would do with the iPhone 5. Apparently the speeds are pretty good at this, edging the Samsung Galaxy S3. And also the battery. The battery is one of the big talks about Apple possibly matching up with its competitors like the S3 with a 2,100 milliamp battery, but the iPhone only jumped up 10 milliamps, and really this is just to cope with the new processor and the 4G LTE, which would take up more of the battery. So we still have a 1440 milliamp battery compared to the 1430 milliamp battery. However, the volts are a little bit higher, so you get just about 10% more battery. But like I said, the processor and the new cell signal does pretty much use up that battery. And I did get somewhere around a full day, about 8 hours of use, just a little bit over. But we are trying to break in the battery as this is only about a few days old. So going ahead into the software, the iPhone 5 is running iOS 6, and I have to say I'm so far still trying to cope with iOS 6. It did just come out. I hope Apple does make a lot of changes to iOS 6, as it is pretty much a huge pain to use. I really don't like it so far in terms of the maps and all that. There's been a lot of complaints about that. And I have been having some WPA2 Wi-Fi network issues, but I hope Apple fix that in the 6.0.1 update that should be coming out soon. And other than that, I think iOS 6 functions okay. Some of the new features probably should have been added quite a while ago. A lot of the apps on the iPhone 5 are still letterbox, but I think this iPhone, from the hardware, software feels is very, very nice. I like the screen. I think the overall touch, everything is just snappier, smoother. But by no means is the iPhone 4S a bad phone. And if you have the iPhone 4S, there isn't really a huge reason to upgrade. But for me, stepping up from the 4, I'm definitely very, very happy with the switch. Let's go ahead and give you guys a Wi-Fi speed test. Typically, I get somewhere around 50 on a computer. And on my iPhone 4, I get a consistent 15 to 18, somewhere around that range. So let's see what the iPhone 5 can get. And as you can see, the iPhone 5 scored a blazing speed of 16 millisecond ping, a 42.06 megabits per second download speed, and a 4.9 upload speed, which I'm definitely very impressed with, and it's about double the speed of the iPhone 4 and 4S. So I think Apple definitely did improve the antennas and overall speed of the device, the new processor. Everything looks great on this phone. So here's my channel here. Let's go ahead and just do a quick Wi-Fi speed test. Just do a search here, or a refresh. As you can see, it's very, very fast. Let's go ahead and just search up something like iPad. And there you go. So I have to say the speed is improved from the iPhone 4. I can definitely notice it. But from the iPhone 4S, it is actually pretty close. As you can see, a lot of the apps haven't actually been scaled up to the 1136 by 640 resolution. So you can see there's a black bars. It's much more noticeable on the iPhone 5 white, but I definitely do like the white. And the black actually had some complaints of people saying it was chipped out of the box or it chips easily. But I'm pretty happy with the white, just waiting for some of the apps to adapt over to the new resolution. But now let's go ahead and take a look at the graphics processing and the gaming. So let's go ahead and test out the game Asphalt 3. This is one of the games that has been scaled to the new display. So let's go ahead and start out on this game. Mind my gaming skills, I'm just trying to give you guys a feel of what the graphics look like. As I have to say, it definitely looks very, very nice. I'm very happy with it. And let's go ahead and just check out the camera on the iPhone 5. These are some clips of my camera test. I have to say that the front-facing camera does look much, much better. And that's probably one of the biggest improvements in terms of the camera compared to the iPhone 4S. However, the back-facing camera pretty much stays the same for the most part, except for the improved lens, which I did notice is a little bit more vibrant colors. But other than that, the camera and stuff pretty much stays the same. So, what do I think about the iPhone 5? I think the hardware is definitely very, very good. I have nothing really to complain about the hardware. However, we were kind of expecting an NFC and a bigger battery life, but this is kind of stuff that we probably expect to see on the iPhone 5S. Yes, just about a weekend, we are already talking about the iPhone 5S. And in terms of software, some stuff does need to be fixed, but this is still iOS 6.0. So I think Apple should be getting this 6.0.1 update out pretty soon, fixing a lot of bugs in terms of the Wi-Fi signal, some major things that need to be fixed up. But other than that, the feel of the iPhone 5, the new hardware, the thinner form factor, the new dock connector, the camera, everything makes me very satisfied with this phone. And if you'd like to compare this to the Samsung Galaxy S3, let's go ahead and just run a Geekbench score, which is just pretty much an overall benchmark of the system. Right now it is at 1.19 gigahertz, and just all the information there of the RAM, 1 gig, and all that. Let's go ahead and run the benchmark. And there, we got a score of 1626. The iPhone 4S for reference scored in the 600s, and the iPhone 4 scored in the upper 300s. So you can definitely see that there's an overall score difference, and it definitely matches up with the Samsung Galaxy S3. The North American version scored in the 14 to 1600s, and the international versions that are quad-core do score up in the 18 to 1900s. So the iPhone 5 is definitely up there when comparing to those, and I definitely am very impressed with the system. So what do you guys think about this? Please remember to hit the like button below, request any tutorials, app reviews, and any other comparisons you'd like to see. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I'll see you in my next one.